it's about 5 o'clock right now, and so I've gotten quite a few things done. Well, not really a lot, but I've gotten quite a bit accomplished, at least, I think. So I did reconfigure my reading schedule for this coming several weeks, and I feel really good about it. But because there is the House Cupathon in January, I'm really excited because a lot of the books that I have to catch myself up on before getting to my actual House Cupathon TBR are all going to count for my House Cupathon stuff, which is really nice. So I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone in a lot of ways. I also edited last week's vlog, which is now exporting, so I might be able to upload it either tonight or tomorrow. Might push it off to tomorrow because I don't really want to do anything else with it right now. But while I was editing that, I realized I didn't open the last couple days of the advent calendar, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do days 15 and 16. Yes, this is the Gryffindor one. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that very well, but yeah, you can't even see it, but it's got the little lion on the side of it. But so now there's 3 erasers, so I'm guessing that if I find another one, it will be the Slytherin one. So then day 16, oh my gosh, I think it's washi tape. Oh, that would make me so happy. Oh my god, it is. Oh my god, that's so cute. So it is this brown washi tape that says Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry along the side of it. You guys probably aren't going to be able to see it because this lighting is terrible, but it's like a dark, it's like got dark brown writing on like a lighter brown base, and it's so stinking cool. I wasn't expecting this, but I guess this makes sense why they would include something like this in more of a stationery-based advent calendar, since washi tape is a really big part of stationery anymore. So that is really cool. I think there might be another one of these. I think day 22 is going to be another washi tape because it's about the same size as day 16's was. So if so, that's going to be really cool. I am so excited to add this to my collection. I have so much washi tape, it's absolutely ridiculous. And I don't decorate my planner as much as I used to because I'm too lazy, but that is really neat. So yeah, so day 15 we got the Gryffindor eraser, and day 16 we get the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry washi tape. Hey guys, so it is Tuesday night. I was about to say Monday. It feels like it was a Monday today. No, it is Tuesday night. It is about 6:40 at night. I've only really been home for the last like maybe half an hour or so because I had to work today, and then I had to go get my oil changed in my car, and turns out I needed to have my transmission fluid all rerun through my car because it had been a while since that had happened. So I sat at the oil change place for like almost an hour and a half, and that was not fun. I think tonight I'm just gonna sit and relax and enjoy my night and read Smoke in the Sun, because I was gonna do that last night but ended up not doing that because I was just not in the mood. But I think I want to sit and read tonight. So today what we're going to do though is first open up the advent calendar for today, which is the 17th, which I see right smack dab in the middle of this box. Okay, so ooh, what we get is this cute little sticky note pad, I think it is. And it has like the Hogwarts crest, I think. It's kind of like a very fine crest of it. Like, I don't know how much you guys are going to be able to see that, but you can kind of see the outlines of all of the Hogwarts houses in the middle. It's kind of got like almost like a dark gold print color on it, and yeah, well, they're not quite sticky notes, I would say, but it's like a little notepad thing, so that's kind of cool. I like that. It's a little small for me, but I think for like a little stationery set, it's totally workable. I like it, but I kind of wish it was bigger because I would like to be able to see the Hogwarts crest a little bigger. Yeah, basically, like I said, tonight I'm gonna sit and I think read some of Smoke in the Sun. I want to get to about 166 pages through it, which, considering that the pages themselves are pretty large print, I think, and from what I remember, I had flown through Flame in the Mist fairly quickly when I first read it in like the summer of 2017. I feel like it's gonna go by pretty quickly. It just really depends. It might take me a little bit to get back in the world because it's been about now 2.5 years since I've read the book, but I remember enough of it to where I feel comfortable going into this book without reading Flame in the Mist again. I think I gave Flame in the Mist like a 3 out of 5 stars when I read it, and that's pretty much stayed the course of time because it was really good. I liked it, but I felt like it was kind of just meh in some points. So I hope that Smoke in the Sun is going to end up being a lot better. Hey guys, so it is Wednesday. It is, I think, what time is it? It's 5:07. Okay, thank you, honey. That's just fruit wrapper. Okay, fruit snack wrapper, not fruit wrapper. Stop throwing things at me. I'm trying to do my Advent opening. So today is the 18th, which means that today we are opening up box 18 in the Advent calendar. And then later tonight, I am going to continue reading Smoke in the Sun. Last night, I ended up getting through about 54 pages or so, and I was actually able to read a lot today during work because there wasn't a whole lot for me to do during the day. And so during my breaks that I had during the day, I was able to sit and read quite a bit. I am currently on page 95, so that's really good. Tonight I do want to get to like 235 or something like that, so I think after Robert and I get back from going shopping with one of our friends, I'm going to sit down and get through more of this. I may even get through quite a bit of it before he even gets here. So without further ado though, I'm going to open up today's Advent thing, which looks to be pretty big. I'm excited to see if it's another little notebook. And it is! Cool. So we have gotten every house of the notebooks except for Slytherin, and this is the Slytherin book. So it is all green with like a little bit of a lighter green banner in the middle, as you can see, and it's just like the other ones where it is lined and about the same size. So I don't know of any Slytherins really that might want this. I am really excited that they did decide to do quite a few things with the different houses and like having multiple of the same thing in the different house colors, because I find that to be really satisfying. So we are actually getting really close to the end of this. With it being the 18th, we have just about a week till Christmas, so I'm really excited. I think though in this Advent box, there's only like 24. So like I said, I'm gonna probably read a lot of Smoke in the Sun tonight. As far as my thoughts on it so far, I really am enjoying it. I think I'm enjoying it a lot more than the first book, Flame in the Mist, but I am starting to see where I kind of disliked a lot of stuff about Flame in the Mist. For one, the writing style. The best way I can describe the writing style of Renee Ahdieh from what I've seen in both Flame in the Mist and Smoke in the Sun is that it's trying to be lyrical and trying to sound old, but it just kind of misses the mark by a little bit. Like, I feel like it's not quite lyrical, it's not quite old, it's kind of some weird amalgamation that doesn't quite always translate well. And I feel like with this kind of story, you could have gone either way with the writing style, and maybe that's why it kind of ended up the way it ended up, because she couldn't decide whether she wanted it to be a more lyrical style or more old. Really interesting, and it was honestly one of the reasons that I kind of liked it but kind of disliked Flame in the Mist. Like, I had a hard time sometimes of getting involved in the story because the language of the writing was very bizarre and something I hadn't seen before. And I will say that getting into this, it's taking me a little bit to get back into the world just because it's been so long since I had read Flame in the Mist, and the end of Flame in the Mist had so much going on that it leads into this one that I'm starting to remember the more I read the book, but it's taking me a little bit because obviously it's been about almost 2 years, I think, since I had read the first book. So I think though that it's not too hard to delve back into. It just kind of takes a little bit more brain power than I was expecting to remember what exactly happened at the end of the last book. But anyway, I will be getting through a large chunk of this tonight. Like I said, I want to get to about 235, so I've got a little over 150 pages, I think, to read today, maybe like 140 or something like that, which is pretty feasible because honestly, this book is making it really easy to fly through. Like I said, I think I'm enjoying it a little more than I did Flame in the Mist, but I think the end of it is going to really determine whether or not I'm going to like it as much or more than Flame in the Mist. I really liked a lot of the cultural aspects that were involved in the first book, and I liked a lot of the setting, I liked the characters, but I felt like the writing style just kind of let me down in a lot of ways with the first book, and by the end of it, there were some things in terms of the history that led up to the point of Flame in the Mist that were kind of confusing and are still a little confusing, and it has to do with essentially who is involved in this political war that is going on, because there is obviously the Empire, and then there is this family that was part of a samurai group and things of that nature. Like, there was some kind of big kerfuffle with them, and it's kind of led to a lot of the problems that are happening now, and how some people have met in Flame in the Mist. And so there was just a lot of ties between people that was a little confusing towards the end of Flame in the Mist from what I remember. And because it was so confusing, I think at that point, it's made it a little more confusing in this book just because I'm trying to still piece together who is who and what exactly they're all, how exactly they are all linking together. So I'm trying to figure it out. I feel like I have a better grasp of it now though, having read this a little more than the first 50 pages, like almost 100 pages in. So that's promising, but I am still a little confused about quite a few things. Hi guys, so it is Sunday. It is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and so the last couple days have been not really bad, just kind of weird. I've been dealing with a couple different things. For one, I've been coming home and not feeling very well, very tired and exhausted, and I've also been having to take care of Robert because he unfortunately has gotten sick this past week. He kind of got it like the end of last week into this week, and so I've just been trying to take care of him because the poor guy was absolutely miserable the last couple days, yesterday especially. So I've been trying to take care of him. I've also been dealing with this kind of like off and on headache, I think, because the temperature has gotten a little warmer this past week. Like it got up to, I think, like the high 30s when it had been like in the low 20s for the last like maybe almost week. And so I think I've just got a major pressure headache coming in. So I need to go take some more ibuprofen, I think, at this point. But I did want to sit and talk to you guys for a little while because I did end up actually finishing Smoke in the Sun today. I just finished it and I have some thoughts. I think that this duology was not nearly as good as I hoped it would be, and I'm pretty certain I'm just going to unhaul the 2 books I have because I don't think I'm going to ever read them again. They were enjoyable for the time I did read them for the most part, but not anywhere to near where I would want necessarily them to be on my shelf. Like I don't see the rereadability in them for me personally. I am gonna though, before I really delve into my thoughts for Smoke in the Sun, I'm gonna open up more of my advent calendar because we're getting very close to the end of it. So the last day I opened up, I think, was day 19. No, it was day 18. So I've got to do 19, 20, 21, and 22. I think 19 is going to be another pencil because it's about the same shape as the other one that I had gotten before. So let's see. Okay, so it is another pencil, and this one also says Alohomora on it. Again, I wish with these pencils, like this is now the 3rd one I've gotten in this box. I wish that if you were going to have these kinds of pencils, you'd have different spells on them because it'd make them so much more interesting, and it would be cool to have like a set of them instead of them all just having Alohomora on the side of them. But still really cool. I still do like these pencils. So day 20 now is what we're going to open up, and I'm not sure what this one's going to be. I'm going to say it might be another sticker. It is another sticker. Yay! So in the rest of the box, we've gotten a lot of stickers. Like we got a Deathly Hallows one, and then I have, I think, the Hufflepuff and Slytherin house stickers. I don't know if I've gotten a Gryffindor one at this point, but I have just received the Ravenclaw one with day 20's pick. It's in that nice silver foiling that the other 2 houses I know I have it done. I don't know though if I have the Gryffindor one already. I'll have to go check through my stuff and see if I do have it, but if not, that might be one of the last ones I get with this advent box, which would be really cool. So now we're going to move on to day 21, which is kind of small. I think it's going to be another eraser because I think we still need one of the houses yet with the erasers, and it is the last one. So I think we've gotten every other house with these erasers except for Slytherin, and this is the Slytherin one, which I can never seem to get these stupid erasers out of these boxes. It's like they make this impossible for anyone to be able to get anything out of them, which is supposed to be the point of the advent box. All right, here we go though. So it is still in the plastic wrapping, but you can kind of see there's the snake right there. And then the last one for today is going to be 22. Oh, okay. Well, there wasn't anything in this one, but let me show you guys something. So if you guys been watching me going through this box before, there ended up actually being a couple items where they had fallen through the advent box into other pieces of the box, probably just because of the way that it sat, and things would just fall essentially off out of their little boxes and everything. But the first day I thought I got 2 different kinds of prizes because I got a set of Hogwarts playing cards, and in that box too were these 2 paper clips that look like sorting hats. But my guess is that I think that because this one's open and it's in the shape of a sorting hat, this box for the advent box, these were supposed to be in it. So day 22 I kind of already got by mistake on day 1 because I guess they had fallen out of the box and just somehow fell into day 1's. I don't know. It's a mystery to me at this point, but this is cool. I do like these paper clips. I think they're really cool, but I don't necessarily know if I'll use them for anything. Maybe I can use them as like a side bookmark for my books. I'm not quite sure, but I don't want to use these for fear of possibly losing them. Maybe they're supposed to be bookmarks though, instead of paper clips. Who knows? I don't. I'm gonna put them with my bookmarks though. To go into my thoughts on Smoke in the Sun. So I think I read Flame in the Mist sometime in the summer of 2018, maybe. It was either 2018 or 2017, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was fairly recently, within the last couple of years. And I remember Flame in the Mist, I did enjoy the aspect of reading it. The reading experience itself was really fun. I liked learning a lot of the kind of more Japanese-based culture in terms of like the samurai and learning about the different demons and stuff in the Jukai forest. That was all really interesting for me. But personally, what I kind of hated within the whole confines of the book was I didn't care so much for the writing style. I found it to be a little too weird for me. Like, it was trying to be lyrical, but also trying to make it sound old because it's supposed to be in like ancient Japan. It was just a really weird amalgamation that I wasn't really keen on, and I felt that a lot of the perspectives that were involved with the story, while they were great in their own rights and definitely were important, I think, in different aspects of the story, I felt like a more omniscient perspective we got within the story was not very helpful. It is entirely possible that if I had listened to this maybe as a full cast audiobook, it might have gone a little bit better, because there were so many different characters and so many different perspectives going on, especially in Smoke in the Sun, that I felt would have translated a lot better had it been in like a full cast audiobook system as opposed to just reading it on paper. And that was kind of a lot of the stuff I had problems with Smoke in the Sun. It was pretty consistent in terms of the feelings I had for the story. Like, I did enjoy the relationship between Mariko and Okami in the first book, and I really like that blossoming throughout the story, but we don't get a lot of that in Smoke in the Sun, because essentially Smoke in the Sun is set almost immediately after the events of Flame in the Mist, where Mariko has been taken to the Empire after having been found by the Empire's soldiers, as they've been on the lookout for her essentially since she went missing in Flame in the Mist. And Okami's been essentially taken into prison because of the fact that they think that because he is essentially the leader of the Black Clan, unlike what most people thought, they want to find out more about the Black Clan and what exactly he has in store, and they essentially want to make an example of him because the Black Clan has essentially been wreaking havoc over the entire empire, and they want to make him an example for all of the treachery against the empire. Also, in the beginning of this, the emperor of the empire has actually passed away, and so there's a lot of kind of discordance going on within the empire, as the second born of the emperor is actually now in power, even though technically his older brother is supposed to be in power, but because the firstborn was born with a concubine of sorts or some kind of a mistress, he is considered illegitimate, and so he is not able to rule in the empire, and so it is the younger brother who is able to rule the empire, and he kind of tries to start ruling it with an iron fist, and that is slowly, as you see throughout the story, becoming less and less favorable within the empire's nobility, and people are really starting to kind of feel uneasy about how the whole empire is being run. And with all of this happening, with Mariko and Okami's problems and the empire essentially being ruled by a tyrant of sorts, there also is the case that there is a woman who is essentially the emperor's mistress named Kanako, who is the mother of the firstborn of the emperor, and she is essentially trying to take over the empire in a way, or essentially destroy it, so that her son Raiden can actually take the throne over his brother. Because she believes that since he was the firstborn, he should have been the one in charge, and he seems to be a better fit for the throne, but because of his illegitimacy, he was never given the chance to be able to take the throne. And in all of that, regardless of all of the craziness that's going on in the story, there's also another side story of a character named Yumi, who we kind of meet in Flame in the Mist, who is the sister of Okami's best friend, Tsunoki, and she's kind of trying to work behind the scenes of getting this kind of revolution, if you will, started to try to take down the emperor. Like, there are multiple people essentially going after the emperor, and it's just a big, massive ball of wax that's hard to figure out because there's just so many characters, and I feel like this is one of the big downfalls with this duology, is that there are so many characters, and each one of them is so important to the story for one reason or another, and it's really plain to see as you get further further in the story. But because there are so many characters and so many threads of the plot going on, it's hard to really distinguish sometimes between who is talking and what is going on, because there's not really a clear divide between certain characters when it comes to their perspectives. And sometimes the characters themselves are so very similar that they can get a little confusing between the characters. Like, it's just really strange. I feel like I said, this would translate a lot better if this was in a full cast audiobook format as opposed to having it been a physical story, because I feel like with all the perspectives that were going on with this book, it would just make more sense to have it told verbally, audibly, as opposed to trying to visualize everything from a text. I did though enjoy it for the most part. There were quite a few things I found confusing though, just in terms of the story and the pacing. I felt that the ending of this one too, just the overall ending of the entire story, was really rushed and really kind of just, oh, now we're gonna get to happy ending. I honestly would have preferred, I think, if there was a little bit less of a happy ending with this one, because there were so many bad things going on, and I kind of wanted to see a little bit different of a ending in terms for Mariko, because I felt like Mariko was just kind of handed a good ending on a silver platter, when she is a character that I feel like that would literally want to die at the end of it, because she wouldn't go down without a fight. I just felt like the story was really rushed through the last quarter of the book, and I felt like there were so many things that could have been expanded on a little bit more. Like, there's a lot that is brought up about Okami's family and how, you know, he became who he is, and we didn't get a whole lot of that, but we got more of it than we did in Flame in the Mist, and there's just so many things I think within this book in particular I had been expecting to learn more about that I didn't really get satisfied with. So I felt like this was just kind of meh overall. So like I gave Flame in the Mist, I gave Smoke in the Sun a 3 out of 5 stars because it was overall a pretty interesting story. I was able to get through the whole thing, and I did enjoy it for the most part, the experience of reading it and learning about these different things with these characters and truly learning about the political system and all these things. But I felt like there was a lot of problems with it that I felt carried over from Flame in the Mist, and I felt like the overall story was just very lacking in a lot of places, and I felt like it just overall wasn't as satisfactory as I had hoped it would be. So I do think I am going to unhaul this and Flame in the Mist at some point. I don't feel like I really want to keep them on my shelves because I don't feel like they're going to be books I'm going to want to reread many times over the course of my life. I feel like this is definitely a series where I just kind of I have just basically read it and I'm like, okay, that's cool, I read it. Now I don't know what to really do with it. So I think I may just get rid of it because I don't see a point in keeping this series anymore for any particular reason. So as far as what I plan on reading next, the next random TBR book I do have on my list is Jacoby by William Ritter, the first book in the Jacoby series. I think it's a quartet if I'm not mistaken. I think there's only 4 books in the entire series, and I have it on my iPad, but I don't know if my iPad's actually charged or not, so I'm gonna have to probably let it sit and charge for a while before I actually get to it. So I have no idea if I'm going to be able to read any of it by the end of today, so I'm gonna end this vlog here because I just don't know exactly what tonight's gonna entail. Like I said, I've kind of got a bit of a headache going on, but I'm going to take some ibuprofen and hopefully I'll start feeling a little better later. But I just don't know exactly how far I'll get through Jacoby. But the next week is going to be really crazy because it is Christmas on Wednesday and I'm very excited. I get to go hang out with my family. I get paid time off for work, which makes me really happy. I get both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off, which is awesome. And Robert's going to be able to come hang out with me and my family too on Christmas Day. And I'm just really excited for this week because then on top of that, I only have to work 3 days this next week and the week after, which makes me really, really excited. So as far as my reading plans, I do plan on getting through Jacoby. I hope that I can get through that one kind of quick since it's in an ebook format. I tend to get through books a lot quicker, I think, in ebook than I do physical, but I'm not quite sure because I don't feel like I've read enough ebooks to tell whether or not I read faster than with a physical book. But I do plan to get through Jacoby and then probably even A List of Cages by Robin Rowe because A List of Cages is really, really short. It's less than 300 pages, I think. So if I was to probably take that with me while I'm at my parents' for Christmas, if I finish Jacoby before, say, like the end of Christmas Eve, I might be able to finish A List of Cages like on Christmas Day or something like that after Robert and I get back from hanging out with family and stuff like that. I don't really know. That's my plan though, is my hope to get through those 2. I do have to reconfigure my reading schedule stuff again because I was really kind of out of it for the last few days. So I haven't really had a chance to get through much. Like Smoke in the Sun took me quite a while to get through because I just couldn't find a lot of the energy this past week to sit and read like I wanted to, because I was kind of feeling weird and under the weather and having to take care of Robert because he was sick. So just all kinds of craziness. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy this vlog, please do give it a big thumbs up and let me know what you guys are reading. And if you haven't already and you'd like to be, hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock. And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys!